Hi everyone, my name is Faulkner. I'm a 21-year-old aspiring sports journalist. I run my own sports journalism outlet called Featuring Faulks. I've been doing it for about 12 months now, and the main purpose of the outlet is to keep people up to date with current and breaking news and sporting affairs, as well as interviewing some of the top elite athletes, young elite athletes across the country, which I really enjoy. It's not a topic that's particularly huge in the sports market at the moment, so it's nice to tap into something that not as many people are talking about and digging into, but that's just one of the niches on my page. In terms of the favourite thing about my brand Featuring Faulks, probably being able to interact with the people who have been very loyal and follow my page and enjoy my content, as well as being able to control the content that I put out to them. Building a profile is obviously quite important in the journalism industry, and having people interact with it is really good for that, as well as obviously enjoying the content, which I think most people do. As well as having that control over what I post is really good. I like reaching out into different areas, and trial and error is something that I do a fair bit with my page. Just working out what I do like, what other people do like, what I don't like, what other people who follow the page don't like. It's all a big journey, and you only find out these things by, as I said, trial and error. So I enjoy working out what does and doesn't work. And yeah, as I said, very grateful for the people that follow my page, because they give me the opportunity to build a profile and also trial and error these things with them and take on board their feedback as to what they like and what they also don't. So that's definitely one of the favourite things about my brand. In terms of workload for the outlet, it can be quite stressful, which probably sounds strange considering I do 99% of the content that's posted on Featuring Faulks. I certainly take on a lot of things on board, whether or not they're in my best interest in terms of my mental health. That's something I work out from time to time. I try and just put out as much content as I can. The workload combined with my academic studies, my work, just getting general money, as well as my social life. That's something I'll touch on in just a second. But managing those workloads can be quite stressful, because it's something that I really want to keep doing and build a profile, and I really enjoy the content that I put out. But sometimes I just have to realize, enough is enough, not to push yourself over the edge. And I think a lot of people who start their own businesses or outlets as a sole trader, even in small businesses, I think they've worked it out pretty quickly that you can't do everything that you want in such a short period of time, and it's not just going to happen overnight. You just have to pace yourself and make sure that your mental health is priority number one, which is something that I've certainly learned and developed in the 12 months that I've been running this brand. In terms of the biggest challenge that I face with making and interacting and posting for the Featuring Faulks outlet, I think saying no to new content ideas can sometimes be a hard thing to do, which I touched on before. But the really big one is that balance between what I do for Featuring Faulks and then how I go about my day-to-day life with my academic studies, working. Something that I've done recently was move from Adelaide to Melbourne, and that's meant I've had to work a lot more to pay rent and general expenses like that, and making sure that I'm able to work. I have to work X amount of hours per week to be able to keep that up, and generally speaking that should give me less time to work on my brand, but I try and catch up that time that I would have had otherwise to keep building that brand, and then also maintaining a social life is very, very important, which I really like to do here in Melbourne, meeting new people and catching up with friends, but maintaining that and also balancing it between Featuring Faulks can be quite hard sometimes, because you want to do so much with the brand and you also want to do so much with your work, and you have so much study to do, as well as having to work X amount of hours per week. It can be really quite tough mentally. Finding that balance is something I haven't found perfectly just yet, and I openly admit that, but having a really good support crew around me is something that I do have between friends and family, which I'm very, very grateful for, and they're very good at checking in on me and just making sure that I'm going okay. So without them, I think things could be quite different, having to find your own way a lot more, but with their support it is certainly very, very lucky in that regard. So finding that healthy balance is something I'm still trying to do. Hopefully it's sooner rather than later, but it's all part and parcel, I think, of starting up your own profile in any aspect, whether it is sports journalism or any industry. That's just part and parcel, as I said. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight as to how I go about my brand featuring Faulks and the mental aspect of it is something that, as I said, I'm still trying to work out, but you learn every day, and I think you see what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and the longer you do it, you work out when you do need to stop and just take a break. And it's good knowing that because I control the vast majority of the content that I put out and do and produce, it's good knowing that I can, if I do need to, take that step back on my own accord and not have to worry about higher ups allowing me to do so. So hopefully that gives you a good insight, and yeah, how I work with featuring Faulks and I guess the mental aspect to the outlet and all.